Welcome back to the Malaysian Food Heritage. I'm going to show you the second recipes. Penang laksa is our second recipe, and this is sort of like a noodle soup. And the noodle that we're going to use is rice noodles or laksa noodles, we call it. And the main ingredients in this noodle soup is fish. Here I'm using mackerel. I take whole number of mackerel, about 700 grams to 1 kilos of fish, and then I clean it and boil it. And after boiling it in the water, I will remove the flesh of the fish and pound it, and the bones are separated. And this is the stock from the fish that I boil. So this is the fish that I already pounded. And this is chili paste that I already mixed, blended, grounded with shallots. Other ingredients include tamarind, shrimp paste. Shrimp paste will give a strong flavor to this soup. Torch ginger. This is also a special herbs for making the laksa that would give a special taste to the laksa, to the noodles, to the Penang laksa. And also this is Vietnam, we call it daun kesom or laksa leaves, or in Vietnam sometimes they call it Vietnamese mint because it's used a lot in Vietnam. And also this is the main herbs that is used in making these noodles. Well, basically we call this noodle laksa Penang. And in Malaysia there are many types of laksa from different states in Malaysia. So this is one type of laksa which is very, very popular in Penang. And again, making it is very simple. It's just, you need to boil all of the ingredients together. So we're going to start shortly how to prepare this laksa or Penang laksa. So first we're going to start cooking this laksa. First of all, I'm going to add the fish stock into the pot. So you don't have to do saute or anything like that, but just boil the soup. Also, I have more of the fish stock here. I'm going to add more of the fish stock. Also, we add some water to it as well. Next, I will add the chili paste with shallot that I have grounded with shallot. Add a couple of spoonfuls of this chili. Stir it. Okay. I will add the tamarind, few pieces of the tamarind, and next I will add the fish. So it's just adding all the ingredients together, and later you will taste it. The fish, as I said earlier, that I've already boiled the fish and pound it using a mortar, or if you like you can just use a blender, grind it. Make sure you remove the bone from the fish. So I'm just going to use half of this fish. And just let it boil. Also, you can add some shallot, sliced shallot. This one also will bring additional taste to this laksa or noodle soup. Also, I'm going to add some shrimp paste, but the shrimp paste in a hard form, but I'm going to dilute or make it soft, and before adding it to the soup, I'm not going to add the whole piece because it's going to, not going to break up. So I will have to dilute this shrimp paste separately, and then I will add it to the soup. I will add some water to the shrimp paste and mash it in a bowl. The shrimp paste will give more flavor to the soup. So this soup is it's a fish or seafood based soup. So this shrimp paste I already smashed or diluted the shrimp paste. Then I would add it. Then the shrimp paste would directly immerse into the soup. Okay. That's that. And I will put some kusum leaves or the laksa leaves. This leaves is very, very fragrant, and it has a lot of antioxidant, and it will give a very special flavor to this noodle soup, to this laksa. And I will add the torch ginger. Torch ginger also is a vital ingredient for this soup that will give the flavor of Penang laksa. Okay, as you can see, the color now is not. The color is kind of very light and pale, but see, it's kind of pale. I'm going to add more chili to it, to add more color to it, so that it becomes brighter. So I want to get the right color. I add more chili to it. So that's it. I already put all of the ingredients, and just wait for it to be boiled to the boiling point, and we just wait. So very easy. This is the easiest type of soup, but is very flavorful. Well, we can serve, normally this is served, we don't serve this for breakfast, but perhaps for lunch or in the evening or for dinner, or sometimes people serve this during occasions, special events like that. It's one of the food that we serve. It's kind of like it's type of soup. Because of it, it's a sourish type of soup, kind of sour, not sweet but sour and spicy. So I'm stirring this soup. It takes some time for the soup to be boiled. Besides mackerel, you can use also other fish. For example, you can use white fish. You cannot find mackerel. White fish would be suitable for this dish, or maybe you can use sea bass. That would be a good choice. Or a different type of white fish. And normally we use very lean fish for this, not the fattening fish, not the fat type of fish, but lean fish. So this is a fish based soup, and we will serve this with the noodles, the rice noodles. And I mentioned earlier, there are many types of laksa from the northern to the southern part of Malaysia. And this type of laksa is found in the northern part of Malaysia, which is in Penang, in Kedah, in Perak, and there are different varieties of this laksa, the northern laksa. They make it different ways and different type of noodles, but the most popular one is the one that is from Penang. And in Penang you can find a lot of stalls selling Penang laksa, and this is how they make it. But of course those restaurants or the sellers, the street food owners, they have different recipes for making it, the secret recipes that they have used for many generations to ensure that the laksa is the same taste all the time. So sometimes you don't know what ingredients they add, but these are the basic ingredients for making this laksa. So basically, actually, every family, each family have their own version of laksa and the way they make it. So it's boiling now, but I need to taste this, so that I want to ensure that I get the right taste. Maybe I need more. The taste is there, but it has to be boiled for quite some time to bring out the flavor of the herbs. The what do you call this? The torch ginger. I'm adding more torch ginger to it. Now it's boiling already. I'm going to add more of the tamarind. So since I pounded this, so you can find it very chunky. Some people like to make it very smooth. So they blend it in a blender, so it becomes like a puree. So that one you get a very smooth. But mine is, you can see, is kind of chunky. So the people, you can prepare it, or we prepare it in different ways. It's not too hot though, because the chili that I use is not too spicy, because different varieties of chili would give a different hotness or spiciness to the dish. So this chili is not too hot. How much I put is not going to be hot, or it's not going to be spicy. But some chilies, you put a little bit, it's going to be hot already. So my laksa is boiling. You have to boil it about from at least 20 to 30 minutes. Well, I'm making not so much, so it take a shorter time. But if you make a lot, then you take a longer time to really extract the taste from the ingredients. Yeah. So I'm tasting it again for the second time. Okay, the taste is there already. And finally, I'm going to add some salt. I need some seasoning, yeah. So I'm done with it. So there, our laksa is ready now. So are we going to serve? How are we going to serve it? I'm going to show you in the next step. So for this noodle episode, I prepared mamak noodle, or mee goreng mama, or fried noodles, and Penang laksa, or is the type of noodle soup. So for the noodle soup, I already put the rice noodle in the bowl and top with add in the sauce, the soup. And now I'm going to top with other ingredients, with onion ring, some bird-eyes chili. This is very hot and spicy. This is a typical ingredients for laksa, and cucumber, julienne cucumber. All this to bring out the taste of the laksa. And finally, lime. Before eating, you'll squeeze this lime and to make it more sourish. So this is the laksa with the toppings. And well, you have to try it. and we'll see how it comes out, and you need to share it with us here in Malaysia.